Okay, so now we move into the third arena called the Barbarian Bowl. This arena has some good cards and some not so good cards, and is, as in my other videos, I'm gonna rate all these cards in Arena 3, and I'm gonna rate them from 1 being really bad or pretty bad to 5, and 5 is really good, and 3 is of course right in the middle, balanced, yes. And the first card in this arena, common card, is called the Cannon card. The Cannon is a building, and it costs 3 elixir, and it has recently been buffed, so it's a lot more useful now as it used to be. Still, it doesn't feel like it's like super good. It doesn't target air. It seems to do really well in some specific cycle decks, but it still feels like there are some towers that are a lot better, that just have a lot more value, even though they might be a little bit more expensive. So I will rate the Cannon card now 2, perhaps some could argue maybe a 3, but I would say it's pretty much a solid 2, as will the win rates say as well. It used to be terrible, it used to be a 1, used to do pretty bad, but now it's like, it's useful in some decks at least. Now moving on to the next common card is the Barbarian. They cost 5, you get 5 Barbarians. And I think this card is pretty underrated. It's actually doing really, really well. It's only about 3 or 4% in Legendary Arena that uses it, but the ones that use it does super well with it. It has constantly one of the highest win rates. The last couple of months, the highest win rates of common cards, and pretty much of any card in the Legendary Arena and so on. So I will rate this card 4 out of 5. So give the Barbarians 4. Yes, it's very nice to also split them, because their Fireball is a hard counter to the Barbarians. So split them at the middle, but they're really good at chopping down tanky targets and pushing and so forth. Okay, so the first rare card we're gonna talk about in Arena 3 is called the Battle Ram. So it's 2 Barbarians carrying a ram, and it just charges towards towers and only focus tower. It used to be insane, but since the Barbarians, all Barbarians card got nerfed with the HP pool, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still a really, really good win condition and does extremely well in bridge spam decks and so on. It used to be amazing. Now it seems a little bit more close to being balanced, but I would still say that it's a 4, approximately 4 card. I will give this a rating of 4, yes, because if you leave the Battle Ram unattended, it will destroy your tower pretty much. So good card that fits into many decks as well. And the next card is also a Barbarian card. This is a building, and it spawns Barbarian. The Barbarian Hut is the name of this building, yes. And it is poor. It's like one of the worst cards in the game, I would say. It costs 7, and it just doesn't feel like it applies a lot of pressure on the opponent. The building itself has tons of HP, but 2 Barbarians every once in a while just doesn't do any pressure, and you're really vulnerable to counter push when you play it. So definitely I would say a 1 card. I will give this only a 1, because it has awful win rates. Hardly any people use it, and it just doesn't feel exciting at all. But by my own experience and by the statistics, it's a solid and unfortunately a 1 from my side. Yes. Moving on to the epic cards. So this is a Barbarian card as well, the Barbarian Barrel. Yes. It used to be insane. It used to be really bad at first, then it was reworked, and then it got nerfed, because it was too OP actually. And now it got nerfed just a bit too much, in my opinion. It only costs 2, so it's still useful, but yeah, it's just not as strong as it was before, which is okay. But as I said, I think it got nerfed just a little bit too much. So I will give this card a 2. I will rate it as a 2 card. It could maybe in someone's opinion be a 3 card, and people would argue now it's balanced. I think it's a little bit too weak now, and the statistics is about average, so maybe, but I will give it a 2 at its current state. The last card in this arena is the epic card Golem. It's a really fun card to play with. It costs 8, so you're very vulnerable to counter push and should only be played almost only when you got double elixir in the end. Amazing win condition. It just feels like once you get the ball rolling, the Golem is pretty much unstoppable. Paired with the Night Witch and so on, it's a very, very, very strong combo and very strong win condition. The Golem deck now does amazing ladder-wise. It has a really high win rate since of the P.E.K.K.A nerf, and I even thought before it was a solid 4. So I will give this card a rating of 4. And even before it was really solid, now it's a really, really top 4 rated card. And is, yes, a very good one to both ladder, but also in the end game. And when everybody's has 13 card, 13 level King Tower, it's still a very, very strong win condition. And that was it for the Arena 3.